guys, and welcome back to HR Talks with Lish. I hope you're all doing well. And today, as you've seen from the title, I've secured a offer as a HR advisor. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, oh my God, Alicia, congratulations. What? Like, where did this even come from? And to be fair, I feel comfortable sharing this with you because this is the journey that we're going on. I said from the start when I started this channel, we're going on a journey to the top and we're not at the top yet. So every single step and milestone I reach, I will be sharing with you. So yeah, I have been offered a job as a HR advisor, but unfortunately I have decided to decline that offer just due to the fact that it didn't really align to what I thought the HR advisor role was going to be. It was quite different to what I expected when they were explaining what it's going to be. So I decided not to take it. So I'm still a people support administrator, but I still got the job and I still believe I can impart knowledge onto you on the steps that I took to get there. And I think that there was a part of the interview which was a game changer for me, which swayed the interview into the direction of, yeah, I think I might have this. The first half, I'm not going to lie, when they were asking me the questions, it wasn't as smooth as I thought it could have went. And it was the last half that made me think that, yeah, Alicia, you've got this. So if you want to understand what that was and what I believe you need to do in order to secure that job and make yourself feel that it's secured and securing it in the process, then please keep watching this video to find out more. So the reason why I believe I secured the HR advisor role was by asking questions at the end of the interview. Now you're probably thinking, wow, Alicia, just asking questions at the end of the interview, that's what got it for you. Not prepping for the interview, understanding what questions could come up. Well, obviously that is part of the interview process. Without prepping for the interview, without understanding the different kind of competency-based questions and practicing answers based on that, using the STAR technique, researching the company, the interview probably won't go that well, and asking the questions at the end probably won't get you the job. I'm not going to lie. So it's a combination of the two, of the prep, but also the questions that you ask. They are critical. They are critical. They will solidify the start of the interview. So let's say the interviewer is asking you questions and it's not going as well as you think it is. It's still going okay, but it's not going as well as it could. Asking the questions at the end of the interview will then solidify that for you. It can be the game changer because they can actually see how interested and intrigued you are about them within the company, about what they offer, thinking about things that people wouldn't even think about asking, basically. So I was able to prolong my interview to an hour. It was actually only 30 minutes to start with after they asked me the questions, but I prolonged it for a further 30 minutes by asking them 4 different questions, which then actually led them to asking me more questions about myself, which I believe helped me even more to showcase how and who I am and how I can fit into such a role. So I'm going to be letting you in on these 4 questions and just talking you through how these questions really kind of create a conversation, allow you to bring out your uniqueness within how you can provide in this role, allow you to bring your personality out as well, for them to see who you are, because it's not just about answering the questions and, you know, getting those answers on experience. It's also about what you're going to provide. How are you going to be a game changer in that business? How are you going to provide something that they don't already have? I know this sounds so deep, but you've got to think about it in this sense, because when you do, you just think about things differently. You imagine different ways of talking and allowing yourself to kind of express these different questions, express why, you know, you're curious about certain things that they haven't really like showcased on their website, or like, you know, you just want to find out a bit more detail on. This is why asking questions is so important. And I feel like it's not something that people go into too much depth on. I feel like a lot of the time we're always thinking about how to prep it right, how to answer the questions right. But think about it, a lot of people don't answer questions at the end of the interview. So if you think about it, you're just the same as everyone else who's prepped for the interview, got the questions right. You could have got them completely 100% great, but that other candidate may have asked like some different questions and they got the job because they did that, but you didn't. So this is why I want to I want to make sure that you guys understand it's just important to ask questions at the end of the interview. And you can see the passion from me right now. This is a different kind of passion, the way I'm talking. So I just hope that you implement some of these questions, or these questions can help you think about some of your own, so that you go into that interview and you prolong it so much that they actually really want to keep talking to you. They want to find out if you've got even more questions after these 4. So the first question that I asked was, what are some of the biggest challenges you face on a daily basis within your role? Now, with this question, it really sparks a conversation because it makes the interviewer think. When I said it to the interview, I had 2 people who were interviewing me. So the main one was like, wow, that's a really good question. I've really got to think about that. And it gets them thinking, and then it gets them kind of understanding, okay, these are actually what we're facing on a day-to-day basis, and this is what we've got to deal with. And once you understand what their challenges are, this is great for you. This is a great starter for you, because if you are planning on trying to get this job, if you know what the challenges are already, challenges that haven't even been showcased on the website, or you just don't know much about anyway from your research, then it means if you do get the job, you're going in literally with your one up, basically, because you know what those challenges are. So you can even do research after that, once you've got the job, before you even start, to understand what are the solutions that I can come up with to help aid my colleagues in terms of these challenges. So this is why it's really good to ask the questions, because it's not just to even make you look good because you're kind of interested, intrigued. It's also for your own benefit at the end of the day. So it allowed me to really understand, right, okay, that's what they're facing. Cool. What skills have I got already that allow me to potentially help them to solve this? So that's why I believe that that's a really great question to ask, and it really gets them talking. And you can also ask questions off the back of that as well. So some of the challenges that they speak about, you might be interested in one of them. Be like, oh, what solutions have you tried to come up with already to solve that? It prolongs things. And this is a good look for you. If the interview is really long, it means that they're interested in you because you're having a good conversation. So that is why I strongly advise you to ask that question at the end of the interview. It's a good one to ask for sure. Second question that I would ask is, what do you enjoy about your role? Now, this is really good for you to understand what your colleagues like about their jobs currently, because it will showcase what you could potentially grasp and take a liking to as well once you get into the role. It can also showcase if these are things that you already like from previous experiences, if you've been in HR before or whatever role you're going into, and just understanding how that job is actually intriguing them and keeping them on their toes, allowing them to think, you know what, I enjoy my job because I get to do this and I get to do that. So it allows you to understand the culture as well. It allows you to understand if they start talking about teammates and just the vibe in the office, that can also give you an indication on culture. So from that question, it might not even just be about the daily tasks they do and what they enjoy. It can lead to a different array of things. One of the examples that the interviewer gave me was the fact that they enjoyed just working with the team, seeing them every day, having dress down days, and just feeling casual and able to kind of do certain things with them, knowing, okay, if I've got an issue, I can ask that person over there and they can help me. Having that kind of community was one of the reasons why they enjoyed their job. So it just allows you to really understand how you can fit into that as well. I would say third question to ask is, what are the career development prospects like within your role? So I think this is a great question to ask because it's already showing that you're very interested in wanting to join this company and you want to develop within that company. A lot of companies love to grow their talent pipeline. They want people to stay. They want people to have that desire to level up within the business. So if you kind of talk about and ask them what their prospects are like and how can I do that? What can I do to allow myself to develop within the company, then that gives them an indication that you want the job, you really want to grow. And it also allows you to understand, is this the right place for me to be? If the career prospects are good, maybe I want to go down that path. If they're not as good as they're describing it, maybe this isn't the role for me. Because at the end of the day as well, you need to remember, this is not just an interview. in terms of them asking you questions for you to come into the company, you're also trying to understand, okay, is this a company that I want to be a part of? So this is why it's good to kind of get those questions out the way. And then the final question that I would ask is, what are the interactions like with your team? So this kind of follows on from the what do you enjoy in your role, but if someone doesn't mention, if the interviewer doesn't mention anything about their team, which they probably will, to be honest, but if they don't, you can ask that question to understand how the team works together on a daily basis. How are they based in different offices and locations? Are everyone based in the same office? If they're based in different offices, does that mean you have regular Zoom calls on a regular basis, or do you meet up on one site together, or do you have different activities that happen across the year? There's so many different things that you can get from that question to understand if you will fit in with that culture. So it really will help you to kind of make your choice as well, because I think that's so important. You shouldn't just be thinking, oh yeah, they're going to make a decision about me. What's your decision about the company? Yes, you've read the job description, you've looked at the company, you love it, but when you get to the interview and if they're saying things that don't align to your values, you might not want to take it. So think about it from that perspective as well. So those are the 4 main questions that I would ask. There's so many other questions you can ask. You can ask questions off the back of those questions. There may be questions that you just think of while you're talking. But I also just wanted to know, they didn't actually even ask me what I do within my role. So I didn't think, when they were asking me like the competency-based questions and stuff, I did not feel that I was able to express who I am and what I do within my role properly, based off the questions they asked. So because I asked those questions at the end, they then asked me, what are your job responsibilities? And I went off on one. I was telling them everything I did as a people support administrator, and weaving in all of the different aspects of how I'm a creative as well as an administrator, and how I literally do so many different tasks. And I was really happy that they asked me that, because that made me feel comfortable at the end. Like, right, I've told you everything I do now, and I've asked you all these questions. We've had a great conversation. This is great. Another thing as well is when that question was asked to me, the interviewer then said, oh my God, I'm so sorry, Alicia. I actually interrupted you there. You were still asking questions. Is there any other questions you wanted to ask? And then I said, actually, yes, there is. And then, we carried on the conversation. So even from that, it showed the interviewer that he knew that I had more to say. And I'm really grateful that I was able to say all of that, because I came out of the interview just feeling amazing, feeling great, feeling like, you know what, I think I've got this now. At the start, I wasn't too sure, but I've rectified it now. So this is what I'm saying to all of you. If you ask a question, ask questions at the end of the interview, you hopefully will get the job, because you can't just be like everyone else. I think there was a statistic that I said in one of my last videos. I think 75% of people that go into interviews do not ask questions at the end. That's a lot of people. So if you're one of those people and you haven't tried it, please try it and let me know how it goes. I just want to thank everyone for watching this video. As you can see, I'm very passionate about this topic. So if you've got any questions about it, please reach out to me and I'm happy to help. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope it's helped you. Let me know if you're securing jobs because you're asking questions at the end, and I'll see you in my next video.